It's me.
Okay, so today I am doing my brow tutorial. I feel like the number one thing that I get asked about when I do my makeup is my eyebrows, so I'm super excited to finally do a tutorial so I can show you guys how I do my eyebrows. So, first, you want to make sure that the brow pencil that you're using is clean. It works so much easier when it's clean. So I just take like a makeup wipe if you don't want to get up and wash it in the sink, and I'll just wipe off all the dried brow product. Okay, and then first I like to brush out my brows just to make sure they are going in the same direction and they're not all, you know, tangled as if brows get tangled up. But I just like to smooth them out. It makes it a lot easier. So I will brush those out. And then usually I'll have tweezers with me and I'll just like pluck little hairs, but I don't need to do that today because I plucked my eyebrows yesterday. So every day I do my brows with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, and my shade is dark brown. I was doing, when I had red hair, I don't remember which color it was. I think it was like auburn or something like that. This is waterproof, sweat-proof, like life-proof. It literally stays on your eyebrows forever. Like you can go swimming and come out of the water and it'll still be on your eyebrows. It's my favorite brow product that I've ever used. It's like, I think $18 to $20 and it lasts like 5 or 6 months. So I've had this for like 5 months and you can see I still have a lot, and it doesn't dry out or anything. And if it does dry out, you can just get like a tiny drop of beauty oil and just drop it in there and let it soak up and it'll be good to go. And make sure you always close the lid tightly. Okay. So first I will take my brush, and by the way I'm using the Sigma E75 angled brow brush. I got this like 4 years ago. I don't even know if they still have it. I'm sure if they don't have this one they have something similar. So I'll just take my brush and take both sides and just get it in there and then like down the middle, and then I will wipe it on the side to make sure that it is like sharp and crisp, and then it wipes off just like any little extra, so it's gonna look, get off my face, it's gonna end up being like that. And then I don't start in the beginning of my eyebrow, because if you do it's just gonna be super harsh, and I personally don't like that look. I like it to be faded and then darker on the end. So when I first put it, what word am I looking for? When I first touch my brush to my brow, I'll do it just like in the middle where my hair is thickest, because I don't want it to just be like a super like harsh dark line on the top. And I start on the top. I know a lot of people start on the bottom and that's where they trace the outline, is starting on the bottom, but for me it's easiest to start on the top. That's just how I've always done it. So whatever you prefer, whatever's easiest for you. So I got a little bit of that product off. And now I'm gonna start in like the middle of my brow. I just want to make sure that you can actually see what I'm doing.
Sorry, I'm trying to talk when I'm doing this.
Just do like short strokes at a time. You don't want to just go like shh. It's easier if you just do short strokes. And then sometimes if it's not dark enough, I'll just slightly dip it back in there to get a little more product on there. Okay. So there's the initial outline. I do mine, actually I did it a little kind of far down. I take it about halfway down my temple. It's just however you prefer. Usually my rule of thumb for my eyebrows is this: if I were to take a brush from the bottom of my lash line and continue it, it would end up almost, you know, right there. So that's how I do mine. You can do it shorter, you can do it longer, whatever you prefer. But that is how I do mine. Okay, so that first thing is done. And then I'm gonna go back into that pot, and then I'm not gonna do the sides and everything again. I'm just gonna dip it with the tip of the brush. And again, wipe it off. And now I will start from the middle on the bottom and connect those two lines. And then sometimes I do have to dip it in again. It's better to go in with less product and have to get more than to go in with too much and it be too harsh. So sometimes I have to dip it like 2 or 3 times, which is perfectly fine. Okay, so after I get those 2 lines connected, I won't dip my brush into the product anymore with this eyebrow at this point. I will just fill the rest of the brow in just with the excess product that is on the brush. So then I will just go and fill the middle in. And I also, while I'm doing it, I will also brush through, just so I don't have like excess product in certain spots, and it just kind of gives it a smoother look. This point is when I will fill in the front of my brow. And you want to do this, well, if you prefer to have your eyebrows like I do, which is really like a faded look almost and really light in the front, with the lightest hand possible is when you start to sculpt out the front of the brow. And I'm serious, you barely want to push down. I will just like barely hold it and just let it kind of glide on there. Okay. And then after I get that line in, I will start doing a flicking motion upwards. I won't square it out right here. I'll just flick it up and just kind of fill that in so it matches the rest of the brow, but again, super lightly. And again, I will take my spoolie brush and brush through up here, because believe it or not, a lot of product sits in one spot, so you just want to continuously brush through to make sure it's all even and whatnot. Do you see how much better it looks? And we are done with that eyebrow. I will film me doing this eyebrow. I'm not going to talk through it, but I'll just do it so you guys can see again how I fill it in. By the way, this eyebrow always comes out so much better. It's the most annoying thing of my whole entire life. Like, I don't get it. Myself, look at that. Ow. Alrighty, and then so if I ever, kind of mess up or make a mistake like I did over here, it's just a little too thick, I will, I know some people do it with concealer. I just don't like it being like that light up there on my eyebrows, so I'll just take my foundation and put the tiniest little drop on the back of my hand, and then I take a Morphe M421. I use this for concealer, and I will just put a tiny bit of foundation on it and just clean it up, and it makes the biggest difference. Of course, I jinx myself. I'm like, this eyebrow always comes out better, and now I'm having the worst time with it. playing me. For real. And then I will brush through them one more time. And then to set my eyebrows, I know that sounds funny, but I use a MAC Clear Brow Gel. It just helps keep the product on there all day. It keeps your eyebrows in place. It just makes them look a lot cleaner and just better. So I will run that through. And it kind of takes off like any excess, again, more excess product. And then after I get that on, I will brush it. There's a lot of brushing that goes on with your eyebrows. I brush my eyebrows more than I brush my hair. And that is it. That is how I fill in my eyebrows. It takes a lot of practice. Don't be hard on yourself if you don't get it the first time. It's taken me so long to learn how my eyebrows work and what I like and what I think looks best and the technique, and some days I still hate them and want to shave them off. So also, if you are a beginner or you want to change products but you don't want to spend $18 to $20 on the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the NYX brow pomade, they have a pomade and they have a pencil, which I have the pencil. Looks like that. I think it's the best dupe that I've come across for it. It works really well. The only reason I don't use the pencil is I just prefer a pomade. I don't know, I just think it looks better and it's easier for me. But yeah, these are definitely under, I want to say they're under $15, maybe they're like $10, but they're definitely cheaper than Anastasia. So if you are just starting out or you just don't want to spend that much money, these are a good dupe. I hope that I helped you get your eyebrows on fleek, because we know fleeky eyebrows run the world. I hope you learned something from this, and I will be back next week with a Valentine's Day tutorial. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Goodbye! Up close personal. Gotta get that thumbnail.